Guess what, ladies and gentlemen? They're bringing back river country. Okay, maybe not completely, but it's still fun. All right, here's what we've got from WDW News today, and free water park time is on the way as well. Disney's Fort Wilderness Resort opens a new zero-entry pool, and I don't know if they're naming the pool River Country, but this is kind of nice. And when Disney gets something right, we want to give them the credit, and they did here. It says an additional pool is open at the Meadow swimming pool area of Disney's Fort Wilderness Resort. This is the first phase of an expansion of the area that will also include a tennis court and 2 pickleball courts, and I do love me some pickleball. Mm-hmm. You can see here that they put a little wagon next to the pool area, and the wagon says River Country, Fort Wilderness, Walt Disney World. It has the traditional logo. It has an old school Mickey Mouse. And if we go down here, let's see, we get a picture. There's the River Country part of it. Where is... Oh, phooey. Do they not have the picture that I was hoping for? I don't see it. I want the picture that's on the wagon. They've got the old school Disney World logo. Hang on. Let's go back up and see if I can find it. No. Okay. Anyway, on this wagon, they've put the old school Disney World logo. There it is. You can just barely see it. If I click on that, yeah, still, you can just barely see it, folks. I apologize for that, but they've got this new, swimming pool, and they're going to have pickleball courts and tennis courts and all this kind of stuff. And they put a River Country thing in it. And, you know, looking back at my memories of River Country, it was never a huge water park. So having a swimming pool like this and a little recreation area kind of feels like River Country's back a little bit. I mean, it's not, we're missing the little bridge that you could walk across, and we're missing the swimming hole, and we're missing the water slides that dropped you off early and you had to fall off of them. But, you know, this is a nice little nod to something historical at Disney. And they let that languish all the way up until 2019. It was a horrible thing if you could see over the walls and see what had become of a water park that had been sitting there stagnant since, I don't know, the early 90s. And this is actually something that's nice from Disney. So, guys, what do you think about this, that they actually went to the trouble of doing something iconic and a callback and nostalgic and all that? They got it right, don't you think?
I think it's great. When we stayed at the Fort Wilderness Lodge, we actually stayed in one of the cabins last year. It was late June, and we didn't do the park. We just went to the cabin, wanted to go there for a couple days I wanted to check it out, you know, the theming and all that. And it was okay. Not very ADA friendly, if I may say. But this has been under refurbishment for almost a year. So to see it open back and zero entry and all the things, nice little classic touches and not too modernized like they're doing with everything else, really makes me happy. And
I gotta tell you, this stuff that they've done, it's not that much smaller than the original River Country. River Country was not big at all. It was a teeny weeny little thing.
This is great. Look at the little wagon. And I see that they made like a little ramp. If you go back a couple of pictures, that's nice, because it's not, this resort is not ADA friendly at all.
Right,
Just
right.
for the folks out there. So it looks like they made some improvements to make it more ADA friendly.
Ron, in your illustrious career of various jobs, did you ever lifeguard at River Country by any chance?
No, I did not lifeguard at River Country, but I did work at Fort Wilderness for an entirety of 2 days.
Hold on a second, Ron. We need to just embrace that moment. This is the first time I've ever asked you if you had done something, and your answer was not in the affirmative. This is the first time ever that we've said, Ron, did you ever wrestle flamingos in a rodeo traveling circus in southwestern Texas? And then you always say something like, "Oh yeah, hasn't everybody?" This is the first time, Ron, that we've asked you a question like this, and you said, "Nope, didn't do that one." But then you followed it up, Ron. As soon as you said, "Nope, I was not a lifeguard at River Country," you immediately followed up with, "But I did work in this exact same area in a very similar way." So, Ron, take it away. What do you got?
Yeah, no, I mean, I definitely worked at Fort Wilderness for a couple of days. Yeah.
This is starting to make more sense. The fact that you have so many jobs that you start listing them out and saying, yeah, I worked there a couple of days. It's the only way you could have done so many jobs in your life, is if some of these have to be like, for 3 hours. I was a big deal there for 3 hours.
So some of them are very much just like that.
What are you doing, Ron? What is it off screen that you're staring into?
I just sent you something.
Oh boy, here's the Flamingo Wrestling Tour from Southwest Texas. Folks, as Ron sends me the messages, let me say this: we are getting some more free water park announcements.
Yay.
for 2027, but with a major change because Disney, I guess, is figuring out people love some cold water in the summer. Not that the water is always cold. When it gets really hot in the summer, sometimes even the pools are warm. It says what's changing in 2027. The free water park admission on check-in day will continue for guests at Disney resorts, collection hotels next summer. Fort Wilderness campsite guests who currently qualify for the 2026 benefit will be excluded starting in 2027. So, folks, the Disney resort giveth and taketh away. All right. That's why you got River Country. That's why I'm going to this story. What's changing in 2027? There's River Country. Enjoy that. You lost Typhoon Lagoon. Oh, Disney, what are you doing? What are you doing? Who's still eligible to get a free day at the water park? You're staying at value resorts, moderate resorts, deluxe villa resorts, the cabins at Fort Wilderness. But if you're staying at Fort Wilderness, you got River Country. Only it's not River Country. So we started off the right way, and then, oh, come on, Disney, let us give you the win. I know we want to give you the win.
I'm not super excited about what is taking the footprint of River Country over the big giant DVC property there. I liked the idea of it first, but now it's just such a big eyesore to what I think is beautiful. Fort Wilderness. I think Fort Wilderness is gorgeous. I think Fort Wilderness is one of the best parts of Walt Disney World. You've got horseback riding. You've got archery. There's all kinds of fun things. And I will say this, for the couple days that I worked there, and there's parts of me that wish I could have stayed, but there are reasons that I just
Ron, am I allowed to put this photo that you've sent me on the screen?
Yeah, go ahead.
Proof that Ron is not lying to us all, folks. Ron actually did work in the Fort Wilderness area. This is you, Ron. This is you.
I was going to be a server at Hoop to Do. It would have been there, and there are reasons why. I won't go into why it didn't work.
You've told me it has nothing to do with you. It's everything to do with some things that didn't jive with you the way things go there.
Right. But Fort Wilderness itself, one of the things I will say is I probably worked at Fort Wilderness for over a week because some of that was my training for Fort Wilderness. I only worked 2 days at Hoop to Do, but the training at Fort Wilderness, one of the coolest things about it was actually learning how that was part of the original Walt Disney World footprint. When it first opened, it was only the Magic Kingdom, Fort Wilderness, and a couple hotels. And so it goes all the way back 50 years of history. And it really is a beautiful space. And, you see turkeys and you see deer and you see otters and all kinds of wonderful wild animals as you walk through there. And it's a relaxing space. It's just, I would encourage anybody. That's a place where you got a camper or you have a way to do it. Go stay a couple nights in Fort Wilderness.
All right, now, here's what sucks. Here's what sucks, Ron.
Yeah,
I agree with you. The problem is, if they do that now, they don't get to go to a free water park on the day of their arrival, which Disney's offering to everybody else. Mm-hmm. So that's just silly to me. So folks, what I'll recommend is if you or anybody in your family is a military member or a veteran, consider getting a stay at Shades of Green, where you'll still see many of those same things, the turkeys and the deer and all that kind of stuff. But you get to go to a water park on the first day. I think this is so silly. I think it's so ridiculous that they took it away as they added an homage to River Country. It's like, why? Were you really being flooded, Disney? Were your water parks really being flooded with darn Fort Wilderness people? Like, no way. There's no way that was a problem.
They're giving and taking. Like, what is going on? I keep telling everyone you're looking at stuff for next year, prices and perks and all that, and that can change at the blink of an eye. That's why we're on top of it, folks.
Blink of an eye.
Thanks for watching That Park Plays News. For more information, consider checking out www.thatparkplace.com. And don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and send this out on your favorite social media accounts.